Good morning. This is Janette Millin Young, your Senator, your voice, your advocate in the 31st Legislature. This morning, I will share with you my thoughts on the ongoing issues surrounding the collection of property taxes. Not a pleasant subject, but necessary. Please know that my efforts to address high property taxes in the territory are bearing fruit. While I do not make promises, never do, it is my hope that after all the work some of my colleagues and I have put into this effort, along with several property owners, especially on St. John, we will find a way to lower property taxes in the near future. Simply put, a large amount of residents cannot afford and are not paying their property taxes because they don't have the money. The work I do to ensure property owners of the Virgin Islands keep their piece of paradise and maintain their homes will hopefully be soon realized. Yes, I know, new bills have already gone out, and while I have attempted to get the Finance Committee to hear my bill on the matter, our legislative schedule will not allow for this bill to be heard sooner. The silver lining is that we have more time to give input into the matter before the bill is finally heard next month. Feel free to call me to share your recommendations on the bill. Last month, I sounded the alarm on the fiscal year 2017 budget. Yes, it was submitted on time, and there is evidence the MAP administration had worked to trim excessive spending in a few areas. Additionally, the administration has indicated that it will work to collect old tax monies. The figures of uncollected monies are staggering, over $200 million. Many of these taxes include gross receipt taxes, and unfortunately, they also include property taxes. Just about every U.S. jurisdiction has some form of property taxes that are collected to pay for government services. For example, in the state of Florida, there are more than 62 counties. These counties collect property taxes and they fund their schools. Here in the Virgin Islands, our property taxes are generated on our islands and are not appropriated toward a particular government service. Instead, they are placed in the general fund. At one time, our property taxes ranged in the amount of $50 million, but they have increased over the years as the value of property increased in the territory. Using a free market approach to property taxes, we can easily see that constant improvement to property, construction of expensive homes, better infrastructure, and the demand for property cause property values to go up and down. The better the improvement, the pricier the property. In relatively large places, these fluctuations are manageable. In the VI context, land price fluctuation in St. Croix is not as severe as St. Thomas. Even more so, property values in St. Thomas are not as expensive as on Water Island and St. John. I say all this to inform you that the 31st Legislature has heard the demand for resolving property taxes, especially on St. John. Many of us have heard the radio ads. We have also heard the testimonies of our people in several meetings. In fact, in the past few months, senators of the St. Thomas-St. John District have met at the Cleon Creek Legislative Complex, and we have discussed potential language in order to bring legislative relief to the people of St. John. Bill number 31-0234 seeks to address this. However, the bill can only move forward if my colleagues are able to review the information, make recommendations or amendments, and vote affirmatively. I am aware that besides getting a fair, well-informed review of the bill by an expert, the legislature will have to find a way to replace any funds that may be lost due to the property tax adjustments. Still, I agree with our residents on St. John who have been very vocal in this matter, that we cannot balance the budget on the backs of our people. A greater issue is the need for the current administration to revisit its strategy on bonds. A decade ago, there was a revaluation process led by Barron Points. In essence, it assessed the real property value to its highest amount in Virgin Islands history. This property valuation was used to float bonds that, at the time, were meant to address infrastructural needs. Instead, they covered payroll, which is also significant and a critical government expense. We're not completely certain that the strategy of the past was the best for that period, but it was used and we did manage to weather the storm. But another set of problems emerged that complicated our bonding capacity and that make property taxes a difficult issue. Again, I am publicly pledging that I will do all that is legally possible to bring this issue front and center, and of course address the bond issues as they are related to property taxes. Lastly, I am excited to share with you that tonight, the committee to re-elect Janette Millin Young and I will be hosting my re-election senatorial campaign launch. I would very much love to see you there. You are invited to join me and speak with me. There will be refreshments served. It will be held in the courtyard of the Grand Galleria, formerly known as the Grand Hotel, across from the Emancipation Garden. It begins at 6 p.m. and continues until 8 p.m. Thank you for listening. I am Janette Millin Young, your senator, your voice, your advocate in the 31st Legislature, number 6 on your ballot on August 6th, primary day.